I want to talk about how money fits into being a whole, healthy person, a successful person. I think a lot of times when we think of success, we think money, success. And that's actually not a very good analogy. Having money is part of life. It's important. And having enough to pay your bills is important. But it definitely isn't going to be the solution. I think for many, many people out there, I mean, it's amazing how many people think that if I have enough money, all my problems go away. And that just isn't true. I've been in private practice and working with very, very successful people. My office is in Newport Beach. You know, it's right next to the harbor, so I obviously work with very, very successful people. And I've done a lot of speaking over the years and known, you know, there's many, many people that have a lot of money. And there is just no correlation, and the research supports me on this, there's no correlation between money and happiness. It just doesn't relate. And if anything, having a lot of money can make your life complex, can make it complicated, and can just take you away from being happy because you have now all these things to manage. You know, people are depending upon you, and it can actually add stress to your life. So now it is true, though. I don't want to discount that money matters, because it is true. If you don't have enough money, you know, people suffer. But I think in the Western world, if you're watching it from a Western country, you know, we equate having enough money as having, you know, a big home and our own cars and a lot of money in the bank. And most of the world does not live that way. I've traveled extensively around the world to, you know, to very much countries that don't make what the Western world make, and yet they're very happy. They're very full. They're very, very content with their lives. They love their lives, and they have nothing. I mean, they live on a year what we may live on a day, and yet they make it, and yet they're happy. So how is that possible? How can you right now learn to have money be part of your health and yet be successful at the same time holistically? And it's really that. Make it part of who you are. You know, learn about money, educate yourself how to invest, improve yourself financially, try to make more money. But do it, I often use the analogy of doing it like the tortoise and the hare. It's like you can always get better and make more money if you move progressively forward. But I think what a lot of people do is they want to make money fast, they want to make it quickly, and so it's at the expense of everything, their relationships, their children, their health, and it just costs them too much. And that's where I think the negative effects of money kick in. You're willing to risk the whole pie to thinking this chunk is going to make that whole pie better, and it doesn't. I mean, they've even done studies on people that win a whole lot of money in the lotto, and what they found is we tend to have an internal set point for happiness. Let me explain what I mean by that. Is that inside of us there's a level at which we are at, you know, whether I'm happy, I'm kind of medium, or kind of depressed. And so that just stays where it's at for most of our life, unless we do work like we're doing on the show, changing ourselves. But if we don't change ourselves, if you win the lotto right now, if you leave here and you win the lotto, guess what? In about 6 months, whether, you know, obviously you're probably going to be here at first, but in 6 months, you're actually going to go back to the level of happiness or sadness you were at prior to winning the lotto. And studies really support that. But the reverse is true too. If you leave here right now and get in a car wreck, which would be very tragic, of course, but you break your back and you're in a wheelchair, within 6 months after that accident, even though at first you're going to be obviously very sad and depressed, you're going to go back to your level of happiness, wherever it would have been. So it just doesn't seem to have a lot to do with happiness, money. But, you know, it's important to learn about it, educate yourself. We're going to have guests on talking about how do you manage your money, how does it fit in the equation. It's an important part of it. And it's important to take time, a little bit of time, on a regular basis, to grow, to develop your skills in making money, to develop your skills in your job and get better at it, in investment, and making sure that that isn't necessarily like an irritant. I think not having enough money can be really annoying, you know, can be rather upsetting. I think that's where people say, if I have money, all my problems go away. That isn't true, but not having enough money can be very upsetting. So I don't, you know, care if you're watching this the day I'm filming this, or you're watching this 10 years from now, there's always going to be people who are struggling financially, that have had some major loss. And perhaps, you know, that's you right now. You've lost your job, you've lost your home, or you've lost something that really matters to you because of money. I think it's very important in that situation not to judge yourself. You know, my favorite mantra or word phrase to say is, what can I learn from this? And right now, if you have lost your job, you say, hey, this is a great opportunity for me to change. When I've hit bumps in my life, I say, I need to learn something from this, and I always do. So if you're at one of those financial bumps, saying perhaps you need to take some more courses, perhaps you need to learn a new skill. Perhaps it's God or the universe giving you an opportunity to change your life in a really wonderful way. I think having that attitude, putting money in perspective, really makes life go well. So it won't be the solution, because way too many people see it's a solution to all your problems. That doesn't work. I mean, until you meet people, as I have in-depthly met people, hundreds, if not, I'm sure thousands of people that are very wealthy, it doesn't solve your problems. And you can say, I'll do it differently, but it's not going to be different from you. You need to make sure the whole part of your life is whole. All of it is working together to be happy and successful emotionally inside. So work on all the parts of it, but money matters. And make sure you learn about money. Develop yourself constantly growing in the ways of managing your money well and making money well. And you'll find your life will go well. So peace.